a multicam video test of Mike and Lonzo just talking shit, talking about life, spirit, energy, universe. Today our guest is ChatGPT. We're gonna ask her how she feels about certain things. So let's just start the voice. Hey Chat.
Hey Mike, how's it going?
All right, and yourself?
I'm doing great, thanks. What's on your mind today?
You are our guest of honor today while we record our podcast. We are having some discussions about things. Me and Alonzo, prior things that we talked about, you should be a little bit familiar. But yeah, feel free to chime in with any input you have whenever you want.
That sounds awesome. I'm excited to be part of it. What are you two discussing today?
What's the last thing the three of us talked about?
Last time, we talked about how spirituality shapes perspectives on current events. You also mentioned wanting to keep the conversation raw and authentic, incorporating your knowledge and opinions. Does that sound familiar?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
That's
So,
true.
let's start there. Why don't you start us off? Why don't you give us a starting question or, discussion starter?
Sure. How about we'll dive into how spirituality influences your views on current societal challenges? Where do you see its impact the most?
Honestly, my spirituality makes me kind of indifferent. Spirituality, a lot of the things currently are worldly, and don't affect me personally. Now, that's not to say that I don't think they're irrelevant or don't matter, but for my own energy's sake and my own spirit's sake, I pretty much stay in my own bubble. My spirituality tells me that this is my world.
That's a really interesting perspective. It sounds like your spirituality offers a sense of protection and focus. How do you balance staying in your bubble with staying informed about what's happening in the world?
Difficultly. I just browse. I get little tidbits without deep diving, just to stay informed, and see if there's anything I need to know. If it's not pertinent, I don't retain it. What about you, Alonzo?
I say it definitely helps me to have more confidence in myself and around what's going on. Because the biggest thing about spirituality is self-concept. If I see myself as this small entity, this black man in this terrible world, I move with a lot of fear. But if I see myself as spirit in the flesh, as a vessel that's carrying all that there is, a vessel that's moving with the strength and force of the infinite source of energy, I look at my life entirely differently. There is no obstacle that's not surmountable. If I look at myself as Alonzo and take all the ego identification that a black man has, or a man has, or this and that has, I would move like a victim, like a scared animal, but I don't, And while I can't truly affect all the things going on around the world, I believe that people can understand themselves to be bigger things. Even if you're not spiritual, even an atheist can have self-confidence, And when you have self-confidence, you believe in yourself, you believe in spirit, because spirit is you, So whatever somebody's going through, or whenever somebody's going through something, I wholeheartedly believe that they can make it through if they stay focused. I met a guy who came from the Ukraine, and they fucking that shit up right now. And he was like, I gotta get out of here. And long story short, a way was made for him to get out of there. He just kept moving, and he just kept trusting that he would make it out, and he did. And I believe everybody is capable of that in some capacity. I'm not gonna sit here and say, hey, you gotta do something. I don't wanna make people look bad or attack people for their inaction, because we haven't been taught that we were more. Everybody's taught that you're just this little fucking speck, But when you start to learn who you truly are and trust who you truly are and know that a way can be made, you just move differently. So that was a long way of saying I trust that everything's going to be okay.
Hey Chad, why don't you try to summarize what Alonzo just said?
Sure. Alonzo shared that spirituality gives him confidence and a sense of being more than just his identity. He believes that self-concept and trust in oneself are crucial, and that everyone has the potential to overcome challenges. He also emphasized the importance of knowing one's true self and moving forward with confidence. Does that capture it, Alonzo?
I think so. I'd also like to add in that knowing your true self, that's knowing your trill self, you know. And do you know what trill means?
Yes, trill is a blend of true and real. It means being authentic and genuine.
Okay.
So when you talk about knowing your trill self, you mean being true to who you really are, right?
Fucking right. And who you truly are is spirit. That's your most authentic self, your most true and your most real self. This body that I have, I don't believe it's true and real because it changes. It's not going to be the same thing tomorrow what it was today. And eventually it's going to be dead and it'll be in the ground. It'll be fucking worm food. But spirit is unchanging. It never changes. It's always the same infinite source of energy. So I call that what's true and real, what's truly authentic. Spirit.
That makes a lot of sense. You're saying that our true essence is unchanging and always present, beyond physical changes. That's a powerful perspective. It can definitely help in seeing past temporary challenges and focusing on what truly matters.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be back.